Man, am I happy to see y'all. You know what time it is, right? The VAdio show is back with season 3. Tell some friends, let a few folks know, all right? It's good to be back. Let's do this.
Boy, you're sure in a hurt. You think you can treat me like dirt and then get away with it, huh? Well, you got another thing coming out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the VAdio show, the People's Show. And you know I like to name my episodes, and I usually give you a reason of why I name them that name. This one, you know, in this microwave society, it seems as if everybody wants their money the fast way. But one thing that I've learned over the years is that cheese comes easy is usually a trap. And that's the name of this episode, The Trap. And I got a brother here that's going to help us and explain to you exactly what that trap is. Brother Khalil. And I want you to just let people know who you are, what you do, and you know, why you are sitting here today and able to explain about this whole trap situation.
My name is Khalil, and I spent 20 years in the Coast Guard, 10 of which was part of the counter-narcotics team that did work in Colombia and, of course, in the high seas of the United States.
Gotcha.
And our job was to bust drugs, you know, just as simple as that. And the Coast Guard's mission is, you know, saving lives.
Right.
So I got real gung-ho about it because I felt that's exactly what I was doing by, you know, limiting the amount of drugs that's coming into the United States. So that's why I chose to get involved in the counter-narcotics division of the Coast Guard.
Gotcha.
And you know, and since then we saw a lot of drugs. A lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs, all right? Well, I had made the analogy before of the trap, you know, with the rats in the trap, mice in the trap. One thing about a trap, man, is other mice, and traps have been around for a long time, other mice see other mice get popped in the trap, but yet and still, they still go after the cheese. So my question for you is, what's the allure? Like, we see the results of the trap. You know, we know people go to jail. We know there's people who get killed. You know, we know the communities are torn up. Everyone sees it. Even if you are a drug addict, we know what happens or what a crackhead looks like. What's the allure to the trap, even though we know the results?
Well, unfortunately, like you said, it's a trap. The term trap was originated by DEA agents.
Somebody said T.I. came up.
You know, no. T.I. or Jeezy, none of the rappers came up with the term trap.
Okay.
It was actually, it was a part of an actual drug operation that is now declassified. And Paul Perez was a DEA agent at the time, and he came up with a concept doing an operation called the trap. There was a couple times on some certain busts where they thought that it could have been entrapment.
Got you. Okay.
Okay, so they kind of shortened the phrase, and now it's called the trap. And basically, I think what's happening out here is, first of all, let me say this. My goal is to keep young men out of prison. Okay, that's my goal, keeping young men out of prison, especially young African-American men.
Right.
Because unfortunately, they're the ones that's going after the cheese the most and getting caught in the trap.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to any prison or visit a friend in prison or anything like that, 3 out of 5 men, black men between the ages of 18 to 25 are in jail for drugs.
Right.
Okay, so automatically that should tell you something. That should send a red flag up to all of us, that there's obviously something wrong out there.
Okay, well my thing is, with the allure, there's a lot of joblessness, disparity, you don't have a lot of things. So that right there, of course, not making an excuse for, and there's no reason to go to dealing drugs, but people feel like they don't have a way out. But also, we got to get into the music, the movies. They make it look like that deal. You know what I mean? They make it look, the cars, the girls, the money. It looks like the lifestyle to have, especially for somebody who doesn't have anything. So I mean, how do you feel about that? With that side of the game?
It's probably about 70% of why our youth are getting caught in the trap. Is our music. And I would say music is primarily the reason why a lot of them getting caught in the trap. Mm-hmm. And because like we talked about earlier, it is a trap.
Yes.
Okay? From the prison industrial complex, which major investors and major bankers make money off of people going to prison.
It's a lot of money in
okay? I mean, the data shows that people are making upwards of $23 million in a year just in investing in the Geo Group.
Wow.
Okay.
Explain the Geo Group.
The Geo Group is an investment firm that concentrates on the prison industrial complex.
Gotcha.
Okay. The Geo Group and also the Corrections Corporation of America. Those are the two primary investment firms that invest into the prison industrial complex. The stock right now for the Geo Group is $29 a share.
Wow.
Okay, and it's going up.
So basically, it benefits them.
It benefits them.
Get people
and you have to understand, the same people that own these hedge funds and these investment firms are the same people, all in the same network, that own the record labels, the radio stations.
So this would explain the type of music that we're getting.
So exactly.
Advertising.
And so when you have to understand, even you as a TV show owner, you know that you function and your main revenue stream is advertising.
Right.
Right? Right. So your advertisers want as many impressions on your show as possible to get the most bang for the buck. So when you play a record on the radio and you hear it, the radio stations are broken down into 4-hour segments. Okay. And that's why you listen to a radio station all day. You hear the same songs playing over and over and over again. Well, some of those songs are talking about drugs, the trap queen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I heard, like I told you, I heard one song called "I'm Selling Drug Out My Cousin."
At my cousin's house.
The problem is the songs sound good. And it's luring these kids in. And he's glorifying the drugs in the song. Yeah. And I guarantee you, that one song probably put 2 or 3, 4 people in jail since it's been out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And so the cycle of from the music to the streets is glorifying the drug dealing to the point where a young 15-year-old kid, he's liking the beat. He's seeing everybody jamming to it. They're repeating the hooks. Right. And he sees all the money being made temporarily, and he gets a package. Okay, he gets a package. This young kid, 15 years old, makes about $20,000, $30,000 off that one package. He starts investing in the clothes and different things like that. He gets a girl pregnant. His baby's mama looking real good. He's getting another girl's pregnant. That baby's mom, she's looking real good. So now this guy got 3 babies' mamas, all of them looking good. Now he's 16, 17 years old. He gets a nice car, nice crib, house, crib, whatever. And now they take him down.
So they knew from the beginning.
They knew from the beginning that this 15-year-old is going to be a drug dealer because they track the drugs from Colombia all the way to the street in every major city.
Oh, okay. I got 2 questions. So understanding the music, do the agents actually understand the...
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
You can be on a drug bust and they're playing rap music.
The agents?
The
people
the operator. No, well, that too. Okay. But in some operators, when they're about to advance on a house or a crack house or what we call a safe house, and we're at the advance on it, about to go bust it, they might be playing rap music on their way to it. Okay.
Why would they?
Because it pumps them up. Right. I mean, we used to play rap music, rock music, you know, before we went on a boarding on a boat.
Basically the same reason why they made it.
Right. And you know, they're pumped up.
Right.
You know, and nowadays with all the type of surveillance equipment, they already know what's inside the house. They can look. They can get a visual of what's inside the house, who they need to hit right from the outside. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
okay.
So they already know that this kid's we're gonna let him stay on the street for 2 years.
Okay. All right. Well, this is my thing. If you got a drug dealer, right, he's wreaking havoc on the streets. He's got crackheads out there, the shootouts. There's so much happening to the community. Why not nip it off at the bud, you know, when it gets started? Why wait on it?
Well, the object of the game is to get to the big man.
Gotcha.
Okay, and the object of the game is let him build as many assets as possible.
I got you.
It makes the case better. Mm-hmm. Okay, when you can take down a drug lord and you take a boat, a car, plane, all kinds of stuff, you're the man.
Got you.
Okay.
Okay.
But when this young kid, you know, you take him off the street and all you're getting is about $200,000-$300,000 cash.
Right.
You might be getting a car, a house, or something like that. But once you get that kid, he's going to start singing. He's going to start flipping, and he's going to start talking. Even though everybody talks about no snitch, no snitch, no snitch, that's a bunch of BS out there because they're snitching on each other in the trap. Once that pressure hits, they're snitching on each other inside the trap.
We're going to go to commercial break, but when we come back, I want to talk about something that we talked about last season. This is the trap before we had the drug deal. So this is like part 2. You're the agent, but last time we talked to an ex-drug dealer, and he made a statement, and it said, we don't own any boats, planes, or ships. I want to talk about that when we get back, all right? Y'all don't touch that dial. This is the VAdio show, and this is the trap. We'll talk to you after the break.
Hi, my name is Danita Hayes, principal broker of the Hayes Real Estate Team at HBM2. Looking to buy or sell? We can help. Here at the Hayes Real Estate Team, we work together to make sure you reach all of your home buying and selling goals. We partner with certified credit professionals and preferred lenders to make sure your dreams of homeownership come true. And when you're ready to make that next move, we can get your home sold quickly for you.
Hello, my name is Julian Hubbard, and the Hayes Real Estate Team was awesome. As a first-time homeowners, they helped me buy my first home.
The Hayes Real Estate Team, all we do is make moves for you.
I have Kelvin Dooley, and Kelvin is the owner of J&K Style Grill. Kelvin, welcome to the show.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Kelvin, tell me something. What inspired you or motivated you to start J&K Style Grill?
Well, J&K Style Grill has been a passion of mine. I've been doing it 22 years for the Army.
Wow.
I've been a cook 22 years for the Army.
Awesome.
And I've been doing it 20 years as a civilian. In the Army, I was just National Guard.
Right.
And my whole entire career has been nothing but food. And so when there was an opportunity to open up for me to open up the restaurant,
right,
I just brought J&K to life.
Why don't we go outside and see what really makes J&K?
Let's go see.
All right. Is there anything you would like the viewing audience to know?
Yeah, we're just not waffle burgers. I am, even though on my wall it says home of the original waffle burger, we are the only restaurant in the area right now that's doing the stuffed chicken wings. Awesome. Right now I stuff my chicken wings with collard greens. I do macaroni and cheese with bacon. I do peanut butter and jelly. I do, I think I got like 8 or 9 different ingredients that I stuff into the chicken wing.
Wow, wow.
Yeah. So we got several things that we do here.
All right. Well, there you have it, Hampton Roads. We're right here. J&K Style and Grill. You have Kelvin, you have LaTanya. Come check them out. The address one more time?
The address is 6557 College Park Square, Virginia Beach, 23464. The phone number is 757-965-4783.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having us and allowing us to feature your business. Hampton Roads, thank you also for joining us. Again, you have Bert Bergan here with Mind Your Biz.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are back to your favorite show, the VAdio show. And before we went to the break, I made the statement, we don't own any boats, planes, or ships. How is it getting in here, Brother Khalil?
It's being flown in. Now they have submarines that bring drugs into the country. As a matter of fact, the Coast Guard just made a major drug bust on the East Coast at upwards of about a couple $2 billion. I don't know the exact amount, but it was coming in a submarine.
Who are they, though?
Well, you have various cartels now. We put the Colombians pretty much out of business, so now you got the Mexicans.
You had some.
The Operation Snowcap, yes, that was years ago. That was in '92.
Okay.
Starting off about 90 all the way into 92. Operation Snowcap was one of the biggest drug operations in American history. So it was a big dent put in the drug trade, but you know how the drug trade is. It's going to resurface, and
somebody has to be gaining something.
Well,
there's too much of it coming in.
Yeah, it's and like I said, and this is the reason why I have a vengeance because it's a trap.
Okay.
And unfortunately, young black kids, get the short end of the stick. And now we're at a critical time in the community. You can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight is a Saturday night. You're going to read the newspaper tomorrow. There's going to be about 5 or 6 shootings throughout this whole Hampton Roads area. I can guarantee you that.
Call the news who got
shot. Right. So, right, exactly. So, and it's all 70% of that is related to drugs. Okay. And so we don't have planes. We don't have boats. We don't have that. We don't even have the finances to bring that type of drugs over to the country. Okay, so like you said, there is a higher power that is involved. The Coast Guard itself is the primary law enforcement agency on the high seas that do drug interdiction. But they only stop between 13 to 15% of the drugs that come into the country.
Gotcha.
That's a very small percentage.
That is a very small percentage. Is it because they just having to miss it?
Well, like I said, yeah, pretty much. We will miss some. Now, depending upon how you look at it, we might hit one there, but miss one over here.
Gotcha.
And one over here gets into the country and it goes throughout the whole country.
Okay, well, what I want to get across, especially to our viewers, is the drug deal is put on a pedestal. It's like glorified. You know what I mean? So I want to get the real on what he actually goes through. You can start wherever you want, but just once y'all get a hold of the drug dealer, what's the process that he goes through, and how does it trickle down into the community?
They don't sleep well. A lot of them seek counseling because they're stressed out. Their babies' mothers are stressed out. The kids are stressed out. And it's because they don't know whether they're going to get robbed by some younger drug dealers or like you said, or the feds are going to come knocking at their door. They don't know.
Right.
So they're constantly, they're getting money. Okay, that money's flowing in.
Yeah.
But the stress level is so high.
And the more money you get,
the higher it goes. Right. Because at some point, either somebody's going to come knocking at your door or somebody's going to rob you.
Right, right. And you can't really ball out like
you can't ball out because a lot of them try to ball out in the clubs and everybody's watching you.
Right.
And see the problem, and so we're talking about what happens with a drug dealer, and see in a drug operation, there's no honesty.
Right, right.
Because in his camp, there's assets. An asset means somebody's actually feeding information to the drug operation, to the other side, and they come in shape of women. Because when they're balling out in the club, the first thing, the drug dealers attract are the cute women. Okay? And so it's like you said, the trap is a real thing. And it just causes so much community stress. Look at your community. Let's take a ride out in Portsmouth and London Oaks and Alabama and all these other communities and just see. You can look at it and see how stressed it is.
That's what transforms it from a neighborhood to a hood.
To a hood. Yeah. And unfortunately, they pipeline these young men right into prison, and they make millions and millions and millions of dollars off these young men, while the families suffer at home. Yeah, the money was good for a second.
For a second.
It was good for a second. We balled out for a minute. Trips to Miami, trips to Atlanta, LA, Puerto Rico, whatever. But then it's over.
Yeah. And is it worth it?
And at the end of the day, is it worth it?
All right, I know the show's good. We're gonna come back. It's the VAdio show. Go take a break, pay a few bills, all right?
A message from one of our proud sponsors.
We Care Transport for Kids offers parents a safe, community-trusted, and reliable children's transportation service. We Care transports kids to and from school and on to other after-school activities such as aftercare, tutoring lessons, sports, and other enrichment programs. We also have wheelchair vans for transporting children with special needs. So if you're in need of a reliable and affordable door-to-door service, give us a call. We Care is not just a name, it's what we do.
A message from one of our proud sponsors.
Hello there, guys. Welcome back to the Maximize Life coaching team and mentoring team. Lawrence and Tawana Golson.
5 minutes of focus.
5 minutes of focus. And today we're going to talk about self-motivation. Very important, self-motivation. When I'm at speaking engagements or anything like that, I tell folks that, motivational speakers, I'm not one of those. You may be motivated by what I say, what I share, and what I do, but you have to be motivated within yourself. Yeah. Because when I leave, that's when it hit the fan. And you got to be dealing with whatever it is that hit your fan. I won't be there to deal with it. So you have to celebrate you have to be motivated internally, and you can only do that, why? Because you now know who you are, you've discovered yourself, you've redefined what anybody ever told you about yourself, and you're walking in your truth. Self-motivation, Tawana.
Yeah, this is where the rubber meets the road, where you as an individual are challenging yourself. You should be your biggest competitor.
Right.
You should look at yourself, challenge yourself, encourage yourself. There's a scripture that says, I encourage myself. I think Paul said that for those that believe in scripture.
Yes.
But that's where, when nobody else is saying, Tawana, you did a good job today, I have to look at myself and say, Tawana, you did a good job today. Or when nobody else is standing on the sidelines giving me the kudos that I think I should have, that I've got to give myself those kudos. So motivating yourself, encouraging yourself, challenging yourself, believing in yourself, all of that is a part of self-motivation.
Right, guys, we are doing self-inventory here with the Maximize Life Coaching and Mentoring team. And we are doing this simply because as you go along your venture, especially if you're doing small business, there are going to be challenges that you haven't prepared for. Yeah. You are excited about, I got my business license. I am now LLC or whatever entity you've set up. And you're excited about that. I have my first customer, my first client. But what happens when you have your first lawsuit? What happens when your first payment doesn't come in and you still have to pay your employees and or your operational expenses? That's why you have to be self-motivated, because that's a part of being a business owner or a venture seeker all in and of itself. You were made for those black eyes. That's what I call them. Those are your well-earned and deserved black eyes. Once you get a couple of black eyes, you'll learn how to fight.
I got one better for you.
Come on.
What happens when the IRS knocks at your door?
What? Yes.
You definitely have to have some motivation. Just always keep, what I tell my business clients is to always keep your vision and your focus and your mission before you. That's what we're talking about right now, 5 minutes of focus. Keep that before you, because if you keep that before you, that's your own motivation to yourself as to why you're doing what you're doing anyway. That's in any venture. That could be in business, that could be in relationship, that could be in your marriage, that could be in your friendships. Anything you do in life, that's what these 5 minutes of focus are about. We're not just talking about business, but we're talking about you as a person, as an individual, as your own self, being true to yourself.
Right. We are developing a book
And a lot of the information that you're receiving is coming out of our book. So please stay tuned and look for it. Yeah. We're going to deal with, one of the chapters. We're toying around what the name of the book is going to be. I wanted to call it BS and Bs. My wife is not online with that yet.
I don't know about
BS and Bs, and I'm going to tell you,
see what you say.
The reason behind BS and Bs is because everybody's always talking about the land flowing with milk and honey. But no one wants to deal with the BS and the Bs that come along with the milk and the honey. If you have milk, there are cows and bulls. If there is honey, you're going to have to deal with bees. Can you handle stepping in some stuff that you didn't want to step in? Can you handle being stung by some things you didn't want to be stung by? Because that is also a part of the land flowing with milk and honey. It's real. You got to be motivated to move through it. You got to know who you are to get there, and you have to be able to define and redefine who you are to walk in your truth. That's what this Maximized Life is all about, guys. Not rocket science, it's real science. It's life.
Cool. We just want to thank you again for taking the time to tune in to our 5 minutes of focus.
Yes.
Remember that your success starts with you.
Yes.
Let's do business.
Let's do business, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to the People's Show, the VAdio Show, and I'm still here with my brother Khalil. Now, I know you've been in the game for a while, and what I'd like from you, we have a lot of people who may have it on their mind or may be currently doing it, and we even have a lot of people who actually watch from jail. What advice do you have for these brothers who may have it on their mind?
Well, my advice to anyone that's currently in the game is to get out as quickly as possible. Secondly, to the younger people, if you want to be a drug dealer, go to college, study chemistry, and become a pharmacist. That's the best advice that I could give someone that would like to be a drug dealer.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, man, because it's a lot of people getting popped in the trap. And I hate to see it continue to happen. And actually, it's a lot of potential that's out here in the streets with these kids. It's a lot of things that they could be doing to benefit the community. And all it takes is somebody like yourself or others to speak to them. We carry this mentality that it's not my problem, that's not my kid. And it could end up your problem when a bullet goes through your house or a family member gets strung out or somebody dies. That becomes everybody's problem. So I think that's great advice, man.
And we do have a mentorship program that focusing on young kids before they get involved in the trap that may want to get into law enforcement or even the service or the military. Or even the business. We have some business entrepreneurs that are part of our mentorship program that can teach you about business and different things like that. But mainly, guys are coming out of high school into college that may want to venture into law enforcement and things like that. We need more African Americans in law enforcement.
Yes, definitely.
We need more.
Let the folks know, like the mentorship program, let them know if they want to get their children into it or if they wanted to come into it, how would they get that done? Who would they get in contact with?
Okay, if you want to get your child into our mentorship program, all you have to do is call us at 757-572-1156. That's in Virginia, 757-572-1156. And then we can guide you the rest of the way.
Awesome.
All right, one more question and I'm going to get out of here. Police get a bad rap these days, man. What would you say to what's happening out here when it comes to the policing? Media and with all the past things that's been happening, we want more people to be police officers, but, it seems like these days they've become the enemy. So what would you say to that?
Well, I hope that a lot of these municipalities, a lot of these cities will take advantage of federal training in aggression and the proper handling of people. The days of the cowboy cop is over.
Yeah.
Even in a lot of the boards that you go for when you want to become a police officer, a lot of guys try to impress the board by saying, they're gung-ho and this and that.
Yeah.
They don't want that aggressive mentality anymore. They actually have people in place that are trying to get rid of the cowboy mentality. That's the problem, is over-aggression and the lack of training, the lack of people training. See, the federal government gets that training.
Gotcha.
but the cities don't. Okay, a lot of them don't.
Okay.
And I'd like to see cities get that customer service training that the federal government gets, because it would help in you know, providing a better service to the community as a law enforcement officer.
Okay.
Okay, well, Khalil, man, I really appreciate you coming. I know you're a busy man. You know, thank you for coming out and sharing the knowledge with everybody, man. This is the VAdio show. This was the trap, and I hope y'all don't step into it. Holla at y'all next time, all right?
Moving the crowd by actually saying something. Rocking the mic is basic instinct, we ink substance. Doubt when it shine, you got another thing coming.